So, having just been in for the weigh-in, had the official photographs taken for the website here, come back across onto Older. I've just put a cat's whisker on now with a big orange head on it. And whilst I was standing at the table setting up, I saw a huge trout porpoising here. Fish on and fish off. A really solid take. That was a really solid take. So it's a green and white cat's whisker with a red tungsten head. Give the strike point, give the attack point for the fish. Gets down a little bit more quickly than the white leech that I was using a short time ago. Just little short jerky strips at the moment. As you can see, the breeze is very unpredictable at the moment. Half the time it's calm, half the time it's head on. And it's now blowing back across my shoulder, which makes things quite interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to rest my shoulder for a little while and just have a little bit of egg fly action under a bung. And there's already something showing interest in it. Let me get it out a little bit further. That's better. And fish on. Oh, and there's 3 others following it. Very nice too. Not a big fish, but He's moving around, unlike me. Whee! Got some spirit. Yeah, this is on a pink egg fly that Martin sent to me unexpectedly with my last batch of flies. I've had, I think it's about 8 trout on this. It was very pleasant, very warmly received gift. And you can see just how spirited these Rockbourne rainbows are. Certainly some of the hardest fighting rainbows, pound for pound, that I've come across. Just look at the way the rod end is jagging and jagging and jagging. Still more fish swarming around him, trying to... And he's still fighting even in the net. And he's another one of about 2.5 to 3 pound. And it's just a beautiful fish. Look at that. You can see the egg right in his mouth, in the corner of his mouth. Superb. There it is, with the egg fly in the upper lip. Another really beautiful Rockbourne rainbow. Okay, so back under the same alder as the last one. Still got the pink blob on. Something has just come up and absolutely slashed at that, but he slashed at the bung. He slashed at the bung. It was a huge fish. He came up and slashed at the bung. It's all happening today. Oh my goodness me. Ooh. Now I'm beginning to think 4 o'clock this morning was an awful long time ago, and I pulled it out of one. Never mind. So we'll come back up onto Alder, and I've changed over to one of Martin's daddy longlegs stalking bugs. Quite a big bead on it, might be too big, but we'll give it a few casts and see how well it does. I'm loving the way this bloke rod is handling things this morning. Just feels so comfortable in my hands. Oh, that's a beautiful take for the young man across the other side there. Solid take. Yeah, this is getting too deep too quickly. So I'll have a little change. So we've gone on to a blue flash damsel, one of the Rockbourne specials tied by Martin. And apparently it is a deadly fly here, so let us see how it goes. And he casts well. It's always good to keep changing flies and trying different options. The chap did a long distance release with that fish that he hooked a few moments ago. There it is. There's the Rockbourne special damsel. Again of about 2.5 to 3 pounds. There it is. The egg fly in the upper lip. Another really beautiful Rockbourne rainbow. It's so peaceful. Little pull. Another pull. Two pulls in succession there. Unfortunately, the second one I reacted too quickly to. The wind is just swirling, now it's coming at me, whereas before it was going away from me. How's that one going? Got him. Saw him, cast to him, he's turned on it, snatched it. Superb. Absolutely superb. Wow. He's a strong little fish. That was beautiful the way he turned on that. That was beautiful the way he turned on that. Whee, not me. This is a lovely little rainbow. It's right in tight here. Let's see if I can scoop him up. He's in the net. That was beautiful. Absolutely classic rainbow take. There you go. Absolutely classic take. Found a nice welcome bench to sit on whilst I'm casting and retrieving. Looks as though I'm hooked up on a little bit of crud. So let me just check the fly. Yeah, dragged it through some weed, curled the end up a little bit, so that's what I'm using. Being one of Martin's flies again. And I've tied lots and lots of flies over the years, but I've never had the success with my own flies that I have with Martin's. So if you find a successful mix, then you stick with it, don't you? And pulled out of one, just a little stopped rainbow, another one at it, and he came back for it. Wow, that was nice. Way right out of the water, hugging the bank. Look at him go. Oh goodness me, these things do fight. These things do fight. And another fish of only about maybe 2.5, 3 pounds, but my goodness me. Yeah, I could have driven 15 miles to my local water and caught fish of the same size, just as many of them, probably even more quickly, but they wouldn't have fought like this. This one's flattening the rod out. This is incredible. He's picked up a bit of branch. Let's get the net ready. and quickly scoop him in. Yes! What a fish! What a fight! So there we go. There you go. See the hook in the mouth. Pound for pound, I think these are the hardest fighting trout I've ever come across. So let's put him onto the stringer. Move this one out of the way. Go in the water, give him a wash. I've got one more to go. 7 trout in 2 hours. This is utterly crazy. 7 trout in just over 2¼ hours. The first fish 10 pound 10 ounces. The rest are all being between 2 and 4 pounds. This is just utterly crazy. As I said, I could have driven 15 miles to my own local fishery, but I would not have had this sort of pleasure. I would not have had this level of fun. I chose to drive 130 miles in each direction just to come and have some fun here. And you can understand why this is the favourite fishery of so many of the UK local YouTube anglers. If it wasn't so far away from my house, I would without doubt take out a membership here, because it is just fabulous. It's superbly run. The fish are a fantastic fighting stock, and in the past those that I've caught here and taken home and eaten have been some of the tastiest. And oh, it's just a wonderful fishery, just a truly wonderful fishery. And the managing team here really do need and deserve all the plaudits that they get. And much more beside, because it is just a fabulous, fabulous fishery. And to get here, you've got to drive through some of the most stunning countryside in the country. You do about 20 miles across country through the New Forest with the wild animals wandering around, crossing the road in front of you, and they don't know their highway code. And just absolutely wonderful. I drove past a couple of goats this morning who were sound asleep in the lane that I wanted to use. I had to slow right down and drive round them. And oh, it's not often I get sort of emotional about a place like this, but believe me, this place justifies that level of enthusiasm. And that's right to where that big fish was just moving. Hopefully, let me slow right down. Oh, it's just wonderful here. Everybody's been catching fish. And I've seen a couple of guys, probably in their 90s this morning, and they were just as enthusiastic about Rockbourne as I am. I'm only a puppy, I'm only coming up 65. And there are kids here in their 30s and early 40s who, again, are just absolutely loving the fishing. right up against the reed bank on the other side. If that doesn't elicit a take, I don't know what will. In the background you can hear the lesser spotted chainsaw bird going along. Big pull there. A fish right behind it, just having a look at it. Again, that's 2 inches short of the reed beds on the other side. If that doesn't elicit a take, I really don't know what will. I once heard someone say that a man going fishing is often jeopardising the marriage. But there's a young lady just walking up behind me who has been here with her husband all morning. They've just been sipping cups of tea and they've been laughing and they've been joking. So yeah, it can be a very social, very uniting sport. I'm sure my own wife would enjoy it if I didn't get out of bed so stupidly early in the morning. But I was up at 4 and out of the house by about past. And she was probably still on her 3rd dream by that stage. There's no way I was going to wake her up. There's fish following it. Big bow wave. Bow wave. It's turned away. It's a big fish. Come right across in front of him. That's a big fish. And he's turned away. Good on the line there, that wasn't very clever. And the fish on. This is a nice one. This is a decent fish. This is a big fish. Oh yes. This is a decent fish. Wouldn't it be nice to top and tail with 2 big fish? second time today I've had to play the one off of the reel. Hanging very deep. Savage, ooh, savage head shakes. No, he's not so big, he's only about 5. And the way he hit. Bang, 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 bang. Savage, savage head shakes. Oh, he's a lovely fish. Okay, so let me get ready with the net. Probably a bit premature. Probably a bit premature. Into the net. What a wonderful way to finish the day. A fish of about 5 pounds. That's my lot. That's a double ticket. Started with a £10 10, finished with a £5. Yeah, it was a lovely second cast, and all I'd done was lay the line out on the water to get balanced, and he's just come up, taken it. Bye. Lovely fish. Alright, boys and girls, come to the end of my session. I've had 8 absolutely wonderful fish. I've started with a £10 10. I've finished with one a little over 6. All taken on Martin Williams flies. I've tried a number of different flies today and finished off with cat's whisker with a red tip on it. I just had the most savage take off of a £5 fish that I can remember. It's just been a beautiful day today. Just been chatting with Jim, who's travelled all the way over from Buckhurst Hill in Essex, which is not far from where I live. Chatting with Jim just exemplifies just how incredibly sociable our sport is. We've exchanged flies. I've given him the flies that were catching the fish for me, because he's not caught anything yet today, and he's going to be out there, and I'm just looking over in the distance and already he's bending his rod. So yeah, it's just such a sociable sport, and in a venue such as this, Rockbourne trout fishery, you got to get down here, boys and girls. It is just the most beautiful place to be, surrounded by bird song. I've seen foxes this morning, I've seen rabbits this morning, seen a kingfisher fly past. It's just been beautiful. I've got a Cessna going over my head as we speak. So I'm going to hit the road now. It's just before 12 o'clock lunchtime. I've got about a 3-hour run home. So it's been a pleasure, and I'll get the video on fairly shortly. Take care, boys and girls.